Hi, and welcome to the channel. This is a little bit different video than what I normally do. I normally do stuff on the Mustang, generator, propane conversions, and just anything I just decided to put on here, but it's primarily about Mustang stuff. But I've been working on the shop here, and I live here in a very hot and oppressive climate here in Texas. It's miserable. So a few years ago, I have my window unit back there, really inefficient, really noisy. It kind of works. I was like, okay, hey, I'm going to start, adding more insulation to the shop, and I'm going to, put in a mini split. So I got one right behind me. It's, up over here. This one is branded, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's Zokop, Zokop, Shokop, something along those lines. Doesn't really matter. That's kind of a secondary line that Rovsun sells. It's the same thing as a Rovsun. It just has a different sticker on it. So I put that in a couple years ago. Been working great. Now I knew when I put it in, it wasn't big enough. And because my shop is long, it was like, okay, and I'm looking at how much you spend for how many BTUs and things like that. Buying one really big one didn't make a whole lot of sense in a number of ways. But I bought this one. This is a 12,000 BTU, and been working great. Works through the winter just fine. It'll keep it warm out here. I like to be comfortable. I like to be warm in the winter. I like to be cool in the summer. I don't want to be miserable working on my projects anymore. So that leads me to I was adding insulation. I've actually finished that, and I was working on a video finishing that and putting up on the far end the second mini split, which is that one's a 9,000 BTU. So I get that set up, working good, and that day was really warm. It's April. It was March. It was almost 100 degrees, I think, at that point. And get that one running, and for one just really glorious day, I've got this one running, and I've got that one running, and both ends of the shop are really nice and cool and comfortable. It's great. It's just so nice. Next morning, I get on my phone. And I go on here, it's like, I'm going to cool it off out here to go work on some stuff. And it says, offline. Mini split's offline. Huh, that's odd. Come out here, shop, and I grab the remote, and nada. Go over, look at the panel, and breaker's tripped. It's like, great. So, that doesn't tell me anything. Go reset the breaker. Reset the breaker, inside unit comes on, and it's got I think it's E0, I believe, offhand, which means no communication between the inside and outside unit. So, okay. Inside kind of going. Let me go take a look, I'll do some diagnosis and stuff like that on it. But before I do that, I emailed Rovsun, on their support page, and, they advertise this direct to the customer kind of thing as well. And I emailed them. I said, hey, I've got this thing. I told them, basically what I told you here. And, it's out of warranty, from the beginning. I said, hey, it's out of warranty. And also came down, what it was. And I go down here and I said, hey, I'm pretty sure it's the inverter board power supply that's in the outside unit that's bad. I was pretty sure about that before I even started on it. And I said, hey, if that's the case, what do I need to do to get one? If it's reasonably priced, I'd like to have two of them. I like a backup, because that is the most likely thing to go in any of these mini splits is the inverter boards anyway. And I go through, and this turns into, I don't know, about a dozen emails, right? So it kind of rocks along. They're wanting to diagnose this thing. It's like, okay, they're going through this and say, hey, does it have this? What's the breaker? This, that. Do all these things to diagnose it. Okay, so I go through all that. In the meantime, while I'm kind of going through that, I pulled the inverter board out of the unit outside, which is this little guy right here. Okay, it'd be this little guy right here. Okay, the heat sink is over here. I have the heat sink off of it. That was just to make it easier for diagnosing it, for probing around and checking check check the capacitor, check this, check that, just and see what's bad. Is the rectum fryer gone or something like that. So I go through all that, and in the meantime I'm emailing back and forth, and I get to the point where it's like, okay, and I'm figuring out, it's like, okay, from what research, I'm not really familiar with these boards, so I did do some research on what to test and how to go about it, and I did some research reading on that. But at the same time, I also decided, hey, let me do the Google Gemini thing. And I'm going to tell you, I'm thoroughly impressed and surprised by that, because I went in there and I told it, say, hey, I've got this unit. It's got these symptoms, and I actually took a picture. I started off with just a picture of that board, said, hey, this is the board I have. This is the unit I have. This is what's going on. I've tested the compressor ohms out to this, the fan ohms out to this, and did all of that stuff. Every bit of information I had on hand already, and told it to the Google Gemini thing, and I kind of went through that, and I was thoroughly impressed with the fact that it says, hey, okay, hey, check this, check that, check check the capacitor, check this, and how it did its workflow, and the values and everything it had in there was spot on. I mean, it was spot on from the research I'd already done on how to diagnose one of these boards. And I tell you, if you've got something like this did you want to diagnose a board? I mean, it went to the point where it said, it basically, diagnosed, yep, the rectum fryer was gone, as well as I'm going to get this wrong again, the IPM. I always get the acronyms wrong. I hate acronyms. But the IPM is blown. So what probably happened was the IPM blew and took out the rectifier with it. Capacitor reads just a little bit low, but I'm testing that in series on the board, so you can't really, put a lot of stock in that value that you're testing when it's, in circuit. So I go through and I figure out, so okay, I know it's wrong. The fuse is blown, the rectifier is blown, and the IPM is shorted out. The IPM took everything else out with it, which is a really common thing in these things, regardless of brand and what you buy. So, in this whole email string of emailing back and forth, and basically just wasting my time, I finally get to the point where I say, oh yeah, they said, oh, let me actually get the actual email here. Where is it? Anyway, I got to dig for it, but I get to the point where they find it, say, oh yeah, it's probably that, most likely, yep, that inverter board is bad. It's bad, and then they say, well, it's like, well, and then they say, well, here, send me your information on who, on when you bought it and all this, and it's at the screenshot of all that, and I said, it's not in warranty. I know that. They knew that. I told that from the beginning. So I get to this point where I finally say, hey, can I buy one of these things again? And then I get the, we apologize, but we do not sell individual parts or accessories. So I'm thinking, so obviously you have parts and accessories if it's under warranty to send out to somebody. But when it comes to one that is out of warranty that needs to be repaired, you just, what, just tell me to kick rocks or something? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not, what do you want me to do? Really disappointed with that. Really disappointed with that. Now, my little channel, I have nobody supports this channel. There's no donors, or there's no companies giving me anything, so I can say whatever I want about anything, and this is the truth. So this is this is real world. So it sucks. Now, I did do a search on this particular board, and as usual, when it comes to things like this that I have, it doesn't matter what the item is. It's generally the most obscure failure to happen on a thing, and then if it's not the most obscure failure, it'll be the part that I need. It's the /B2 version 12 item that I need that nobody has, or it is we have it, But that's not the one that's $60. That's the one that's, way more. So that's the way it is with me. And I just did this look, and I found a few of them online. And the problem is like, you don't know. The vast majority I'm finding is, I'm pretty sure these are just used boards. I don't want a used board. So, I just do a little more digging. I found a few that look like they're brand new boards, because they're actually in the plastic case and they're in boxes. It looks like they're obviously replacement parts. Where they're getting them from, I'd like to know. I'd like to know how they're getting a hold of those, because how do I get into that chain of, into the chain to buy things like that obviously they don't want us to be into that chain. So I looked at, we're ranging anywhere from about $150 for this board to say $250 to $300 for this board right here. Now, I have a problem with the price of that board. And you're going to say, oh, well, this is it. Yeah, I know how the world works. But when I look at the price of this unit up here for me to buy another unit just like this, to buy one like this, the price of that board is a quarter to a third of what the entire mini split cost. Now that's a problem. And we all know that. And this is in every industry out there these days. That the parts prices are just so vastly overpriced for what they are. And this board here, $65 is about right for what that thing should be. Not $150, $250. It's $65. And now, and some of you are going to say, well, you shouldn't have bought a such and such, or you should have bought this, or you should have done that. Well, the same goes for the American-made stuff that we have here, when it comes to central units, the standard, it's the same ballpark there. It's the same across the board. So, if you're going to comment and say, well, you should have bought this and you shouldn't have bought that. So I don't want to hear it. It does not add to the conversation. So, you might, if you guys are buying one of these things, you might want to think about, some of the companies you're dealing with, and maybe try contacting a company ahead of time and say, hey, just pick a part and see if you can buy a part from them. Some are better than others, obviously. There are some that are, a lot of these units are made by Medea. The one I have on the back wall back here is made by Medea. And in my next video, I will actually, and that actually costs more per ton than this one did. But that one there, I bought from a local guy. And in the video I'm going to do about all this stuff in the shop, by putting that in, I have, it's a great supplier across town, great guy. He did not give me that for free. He gave me a little bit better deal on it than the average person. More so because just I'm a nice guy, I guess, and, nobody's going to give me a mini split. Nobody's going to give me like an awesome deal on it, because, and it's like I told him from day one, to say, hey, can I make a video? Do you mind if I film in here? Because I like what he's doing. And I filmed some stuff in his shop in it's a shopping mall. That's cool. But I filmed all that, and it's like, I want to support him because I like what he's doing. So I'll leave the, I'm kind of rambling here at this point, but let me ask you this question. What would you do if you're in this situation? Would you, just buy the board for this thing and fix this? Or buy another one, something wrong, a cheaper one again? Would you go to my buddy across town here at the mall and buy a unit from him? And I've already contacted him and told him what was going on. And he was like, oh man, and he said, yeah, I've got one or two units. He says, I can give you a little bit of a discount on one of these two units here, and it's a good discount. I can't complain. And it's just super nice guy. Then the other alternative is that I'm probably going to start off doing is I'm going to see about desoldering that IPM off of here, and because part numbers always on the back side, and hopefully it's not ground off. So I will take that apart and see if the parts are reasonable price to get, and I'll you know, put a new IPM, put a new rectifier, put a new fuse, and cross your fingers and hope that, you know, one of the other chips that has the programming in it didn't get, you know, fried at the same time, and see if it works. So, yeah, what would you do? Anybody want to send me a mini split? Yeah, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? So, thanks for watching, guys. See you later.